Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 8th podcast of CIPS MENA Procurement Master Talk Series. I'm your host, Lalit Dhamija. I have 40 years experience in procurement and supply, and I am ex-procedure and process assurance manager in procurement department of ADNOC Onshore. After 37 years of my corporate career, I am now a global procurement and supply chain trainer and coach. I've been working as a CIPS volunteer in UAE since 2009. Today, I'm honored to be joined by Wael Safwat. We will talk about international procurement, CIPS volunteering, recognition, and awards. We will summarize the key learnings at end of the podcast. Now, CIPS MENA Procurement Talks series covered in-depth interviews with procurement and supply chain management professionals from various diverse industries. The stories about high and lows in the lives of procurement masters provide thought-provoking insights to face the market challenges in procurement and supply chain management professionals pursue to becoming strategic partners of their organizations. Our guest of CIPS MENA Procurement Master Talks today is Mr. Wael Safwat. He is Head of Procurement of North America for Black and Mcdonald's. Hi, Wael. How are you?
Hi, Lalit. Thanks for having me today.
Wonderful. So, Wael is a Chartered FCIPS and Executive Diploma leader from CIPS. He led and successfully delivered award-winning procurement transformation and technology enablement programs across the globe. Wael was a founder member of CIPS in MENA Region back in 2005. He was the chair of Dubai branch and vice chair of UAE for almost 6 years. While currently is a chair of CIPS branch in Canada. During his tenure in the MENA region, he was head of procurement for various organizations, including Majid Al Futtaim, ADNOC, and ENOC. Wael was one of the contributors to CIPS Global Standard for Procurement and Supply, Wael released a number of publications in the UK, MENA, and North America. Also, he's a fellow of various institutions in the UK. Some of them are Chartered Management Institute and Institute of Leadership and Management. Wael also holds an MBA with distinction while being a certified project manager. In addition to this, he holds various procurement designations, including CSCMP Canada and CPSM, which is from Institute for Supply Management, USA. Welcome, Wael, once again to the CIPS MENA Master Procurement Talk Show.
Thanks, Lalit. It's an absolute pleasure to be with you today.
Thank you. So we will start. How did you enter the procurement and supply chain world? How has your journey been so far, especially working internationally in so many countries? So over to you, Wael. Now we'll sit back and relax and listen to your story. You are very popular in MENA region and especially in UAE. So our audience really wants to know this your story about how your journey has been so far. And how did you enter into supply chain world? Over to you, Wael.
Thanks, Lalit. I think my journey, I would say, not different than anyone. Procurement has never been a choice, absolutely. Nevertheless, I've started my career with Shell. And the reason for this, I've been working for contracts management as part of the finance team. And that's eventually was the first job I was related to procurement. And from there, really started my international career back in the UK. And then I've been traveling across the globe and then moved to the United Arab Emirates, where I've been quite fortunate to come across a number of people and a number of great colleagues and peers to whom I learned from, and also whom I've been able to support in their career. So it has been really, I keep saying it's a journey. I mean, in this journey, there has been a lot of ups and downs, but certainly I enjoy every single moment of this journey. And CIPS has been absolutely a global, I would say, partner to me in this journey. So I keep telling people CIPS is your global passport. I mean, it's a global recognition. It's benchmarking of excellence and qualification across the globe. And I mean, it's absolutely a value added to have it whenever you go.
Absolutely, right. I remember your contribution and how active you were in the branch committees way back in 2005, 2006. We'll talk about it when we come to CIPS volunteering. And Wael, which three words do you think your colleagues and peers would use to describe you?
That's a very tough question, Lalit.
I thought that should be easy. I don't know.
I may have a different views. It's not absolutely easy. I think supportive. Hopefully, they perceive me as a knowledgeable person, and to some extent fair.
Right. And knowing you from 20 years, I should say, yeah, absolutely. In addition, you are very friendly. You are helpful also, very supportive, helpful, pleasant to talk to. So that is my first-hand experience, and we have been in touch, like we said, over 20 years. Absolutely.
Likewise.
And while tell us something about what we don't know about you, your hobbies and time outs.
I like photography. I mean, I think it's something that I haven't got time really to learn it professionally, but I think it's one of the hobbies which I like really. It gives you the opportunity really to look into things from a different lens. So it's one of my favorite hobby when I got some time to do this.
So it is photography.
Yes.
All right. And while we see many articles on you and also by you in international procurement and supply chain magazines and in the news media, social media, also you have received international awards. We want you to share your secret of success with our audience so that, you know, people will be motivated. They will also learn how to grow up in their career and how to do their best.
Again, that's another tough question. I think personally, the awards or certification never been an aim. I would say. I mean, part of my journey, to keep working hard, to enjoy what I'm doing, and to learn. And I think really having those awards and certification will be a recognition and also a benchmarking. I mean, for my effort and my qualification. Back on the day, I would say, and a lot of people may agree with this. I mean, like 10 years ago, there has been not much social media. There hasn't been those kind of a structured award and competition across the globe, whether in the UK, whether in North America, whether in MENA region. So unlikely people will have those award and certification unless it's absolutely very local. So typically, I mean, I try really to put an effort, continue improving my learning and my contribution to my colleague, to my peer, and that's it. And should this be recognized by the award, brilliant. If not, also is not one of my key interests, to ensure. However, at a certain point of time, sometimes really it's a good exercise really for benchmarking excellence. So giving an example, while I was in MENA, I think quite fortunate as a head of procurement for Majid Al Futtaim properties. We received the best, the MENA, CIPS MENA Best Setup Procurement Organization. We've also been shortlisted for Best People Development Initiative and the shortlisted for the Best Professional of the Year. I think that's more in my view, my view as a benchmarking versus an award. And also it gives the recognition back to the entire team. Any award is not, in my view, represent an individual effort. Without the support of your colleague, your peer, your organization, it is unlikely you will achieve it. So you have to give the credit back to everyone has been a partner to you and has been helping you to achieve any of those awards.
You are really humble, and of course, you are giving credit to your team. That is really appreciated. So it is a teamwork because you got some awards which were for the team also for your company. Wonderful. And what procurement can do, while in your opinion, to have a maximum impact on an organization?
I think we've seen really a massive change in procurement, and particularly prior to the pandemic, there has been a lot of a focus on uh, raising the voice of the profession across the globe, and I mean how procurement really could, in fact, driving business strategy. I mean, we tend to be perceived, I mean, earlier in the days, I would say, like, it's an admin job, cutting purchase orders, and just, I mean, processing and helping clients to process invoices. But I think it's been evolving, and with Industry 4.0 prior to the pandemic, I think there has been a massive focus that procurement could be literally a business partner, a function that not only supporting the business but also shaping the strategy of the business. I think I will quote one of the CIPS, statement on this. I mean, procurement professionals should be perceived as the architecture of value creation. We should be anticipating what does it mean value to the organization and try to shape this value proposition and sell it back to the organization.
So best value proposition and architect for value creation.
Architecture of value creation.
Architecture for value creation. Wonderful. Wow. All right. So, Wael, tell us about your journey as a CIPS volunteer.
This has been a very long journey. I would imagine it's getting now almost to 20 years. I mean, when I was member in the UK, but haven't got much engagement. And I'm happy to share a quick background, which is both of us very much familiar with. I mean, the CIPS MENA started back in 2004. I mean, again, I want to give the credit back to ADNOC Group of Company. At that time, ADNOC was the only organization across MENA that has been in touch with CIPS in the UK to consider corporate training and corporate certification. That's back on the day, and there has been no presence in CIPS in MENA region. Clearly, there has been no office there, and David Noble, has been really leading this and start from 2003, 2004. Myself, you, and handful number of really, great people like Stephen, Arthurson, and Alan back in both of them. They had been the chair and vice chair of the first committee, and I was the secretary of the first committee back in 2003. I remember that we had the election back in Abu Dhabi, and myself, we were a member in the committee.
Yes.
And then gradually there has been really some appetite and really fantastic effort by CIPS team in the UK to spread the word and start really, getting CIPS being recognized as a leading practice in MENA region. I think both of us has been supporting a number of networking events. Back on the day also, if I remember very well, has been two educational institutions, which is Dubai University, which I was quite fortunate to be instructors. And it's a great privilege to meet a number of people and to build connections. Also, there has been Zabil Institution in Dubai. There has been the second educational institution supporting CIPS qualification. And as the CIPS journey started, really, I think Rebecca Fox came to start really leading this, and we had the second committee, which is between Abu Dhabi and Dubai. That again was a fantastic effort again by CIPS to start really re-emphasizing the importance of procurement and supply chain, not only on the qualification side, but also on how organizations should aim for applying leading practices. So this has been evolving and continue. We have been quite fortunate to go through the election to be the chair of Dubai branch for a number of years, and also the vice chair of the UAE. In addition, during my time at Majid Al Futtaim, at that time, the MENA Fellow Committee was established. Was led by Sam Ashenbing, and also my friend Mark Fadil. He was the vice chair, and I was a founder member of this committee. And also, our best friend Walid Sadi. That has been a fantastic opportunity again to keep elevating the role and the profile of CIPS at procurement and connecting with the senior executive within the regions.
Right.
And that's really has been the journey and the history of CIPS from 2003 in MENA region till I left the region back in 2015.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well summed up. I know you were saying ADNOC was instrumental in introducing CIPS. That time I was ADNOC employee, and I know it was 2003 or 2004. So I had invited CIPS management, that time David Noble and Chris Gradger. They visited ADNOC office, and we had a session for our procurement department. And now the rest is the history, how it has evolved now, eventually under the leadership of course, many people have to contribute. And currently, Sam has been very instrumental in the rapid rise of CIPS in the MENA region, along with the volunteers and the team. So while what are other networking activities you are involved outside your office domain, especially in
I'll answer
maybe
this.
Canada?
Yes, I'll do this, but I want to make sure that also I hope I haven't missed a number of, I would say great friends and colleagues back on the days. I mean, like Sarah Abdul Latif, also Harry is our Congress member for MENA regions. I mean, there's a number, Corey, there's a number of people that they have been
Absolutely. Yeah, I
instrumental.
know. I know. We are not taking all the
Yourself,
names, and of course, no. Yeah, I
yes,
know.
so many people that, of course, I mentioned Wael before. So there's so many really great people that we are quite fortunate really to work with them, to learn from them. So I think, and those people to continue to be the champions of CIPS, in addition to new and young generation in the region. So I want to make sure that this has been well addressed.
Surely. We will have a separate session sometimes, only concentrating on the history of CIPS volunteering in UAE, and maybe that will be a justice to everyone, all the members who have contributed, especially during the earlier days when we, like you said rightly, there were no offices even for CIPS. So that will be a good recollection of things. While what are other networking activities, like you said, you are involved in, if there are any now in your region in Canada?
When I moved to Canada, I was a board member for a number of procurement supply chain organizations, and also some non-for-profit organizations that help immigrants with regards to job search and I would say job integration within the market. I think again that's an area as a procurement professional we can bring value and support. I would say the community and I would say non-government organization to bring expertise on the table and help them, I would say, to shape their strategy and help them to shape their operations. So giving an example, as you know that I would say non-for-profit organization, they wouldn't have the same leverage, the buying leverage power that similar to any commercial corporation. So contributing and being part of some of those organizations will help me, enable me to leverage some of my expertise and network in the market and supporting them in negotiating some of the contracts, whether for direct procurement or indirect procurement, to maximize the value for money.
Oh, that's well said. Like supporting NGOs, leveraging our experience for direct or indirect spend for negotiations, and making like a good deal for NGOs who are not especially focused on procurement. So we can use our expertise in that particular area.
Absolutely,
That's a
and
good,
also
the good tip. Yeah.
And also, I got involved in a number of coaching and events, and the reason for this, I mean, I'm extremely grateful at the beginning of my career, and I have to give the credit to a number of people, including, I mean, Jessica Shutter, I mean, Stephen Butler from the UK, I mean, a number of people that have been really supporting me to elevate. So it's always the time really to give back and to help people through their journey and to support them to grow up. And you should be very proud and happy really to see people excelling in their career.
Yeah. Great. Wonderful thoughts. And while how is the current situation changing your thinking or approach towards procurement, supply chain in the industry and market as a whole? I'm talking about pandemic which we are going through.
I think it's an exciting time for everyone. I think we're going through a situation that been unexpected, but I think it's put the procurement profession and procurement professional on the front line, really. I mean, and people perceive at the moment. I mean, their value across different sectors. I mean, prior to the pandemic, there has been a massive focus on the industry 4.0, I would say, the artificial intelligence, I mean, the emotional intelligence, etc. But with the pandemic, we're going back to the basics, in my view, which is, I mean, the first thing that you need to have the right skill sets. You need to have a procurement organization who's agile and lean to, I mean, to scale and upskill and work with those, I mean, situation. You need to have a strong understanding about your analytic and spend profile and spend landscape to leverage. You need to have strong supply relation management to allow you to partner in those difficult times with your key suppliers to manage the risk jointly. So I think it's a fantastic opportunity to continue elevate during this difficult time. There will be massive need, in my view, for different skill sets moving forward. I think, in my view, organization will not be looking for a leaders only to support their business continuity, but eventually looking for a leader, really leaders, I mean, to help them to shape the future and how really to be more agile and lean to, I mean, to respond to any future pandemic if it will happen.
Wonderful. Wow, there are so many learning points from here. Focus. It was on Industry 4, and like you're saying, pandemic, we are going back to the basics, and procurement organizations need to be agile and lean. And of course, we need to have a strong relationship with the suppliers, like supply relationship management we have to see. And good market intelligence we should have, and opportunities to lead and elevate procurement. And of course, leaders should be really pressure tested leaders who are shaping the future to make organizations agile and lean. Well said. Very good points what you have brought to the table. And beyond this pandemic, what are the key trends companies will need to consider? How do you think we will need to kickstart procurement and supply chain once things begin to recover?
I think one of the key benefits I see out of the pandemic that, I mean, it will help shaping, I would say, the workplace culture, and there will be more appetite for, I mean, for understanding and see the value of, I mean, working virtually and connecting virtually, I mean, and working from home for particular industries, particular professions. But this is also come hands in hands with the, I would say, soft skills in terms of effective communication, ability to engage, etc. So I think those, in my view, become the fundamentals, really, I mean, for driving, I mean, any business success, and also, I mean, procurement, I mean, success moving forward within the pandemic. I think procurement also, in my view, will have a bigger role beyond the traditional supply chain definition in terms of logistics, warehousing, etc. I think procurement will be more elevated to address risk management across the organization. So that's, I think, an area that procurement will have a future role to drive and anticipate, really, I mean, market risks, organizational risk, and help the organization really to, I mean, drive the right strategy to survive and continue operating effectively.
Wow. Great points which you have shared with us. And like you're saying, soft skills and ability to engage will be fundamental. And of course, procurement should be involved in risk management and drive the right strategy. And will remote working and digitization play a bigger role from now on?
I think there is a lot for discussion. I mean, I'm sure that one side wouldn't fit all. I mean, but certainly I think across the globe, what we can see that, I mean, it's an opportunity for the entire, I mean, to review the business philosophy. And again, it may not work for particular, I mean, market, for particular professions, but it may work perfectly for I mean, for some. And it's also drive the importance of back to the basics, having really an effective team and having the trust within your team that they are capable and more than capable to perform and deliver virtually. And I think those are some of the things that organizations should look into it and start really building, I would say, a roadmap on how to ensure that there is a balanced approach between working virtually at the same time maintaining the client face. I mean, it's still really, I mean, building relationship and networking with people, I mean, still absolutely a key success to any leader or any procurement professional. So I think that's really, I think an opportunity for us, a procurement professional or any professional, just to continue focusing on soft skill, I mean, ability to connect, I mean, networking, etc., etc.
Yeah. And like I like that you said trust within the team that they'll be able to deliver while working virtually and building roadmaps and associated other associated points with this. Finally, Wael, what will be your message to the young procurement professionals?
I think my message, first of all, career is a journey, is not a destination, and is not a title. So I mean, having this in mind, this is the first message. The second message, everyone has his own journey, or he or she has his own journey. So giving an example, so I mean, sometimes you come across really, and particularly both of us work in oil and gas. As a procurement engineer who might be really managing a 500 million contracts, EPC contract, versus head of procurement really who could be managing only 2 million. And there is nothing right or wrong about this. It's about the mandate, it's about the exposure. So a lot of people typically will fall into the trap of, you know, it's about the title. No, it's about the journey, the skill set that you develop along this journey, the ability really to find a good mentor and coach to help you all the way, even when you become an executive.
Yeah.
I mean, the key principle really that you should really proud of your success, and also you should be proud of other success. When you touch point earlier with regards to the certification and awards, I think those are one of your KPIs. Your KPIs is not really getting an award. Your KPIs is to benchmark your progress in your career versus others. So I think those are, in my view, some of the key lessons learned I've taken through my career. I had really some great time. I had some difficult time, but after 25 years in procurement supply chain, I find it that every experience I've been going through has been absolutely, I mean, a value added to my career and my personality. Even during the difficult time where I felt, you know what, it's not really the right type of job, I need to make a move. With those difficult times, it helped me really to build certain skill sets and knowledge, which has been absolutely handy, I mean, to manage other jobs, moving forward.
I know. And you have gone through so many career changes and you worked in so many countries and so many diverse industries. And really, if it is coming from you, it has so much weight. Like which says KPI is not getting an award, but it is for benchmarking, and it is not titles. It is your journey. Career is not about titles, but about your journey, how you network, how you benchmark, and every experience is a value added for development. That is another good point which I like. Wonderful. And while we are trying to wrap up now, any final thing you want to say before I make a summary of what has been discussed?
Again, I mean, I'm extremely privileged, I mean, Lalit, to have the discussion with you today. Again, extremely, very, very, honor, really, and thankful for all my colleagues in MENA regions, to whom I missed really over the past 5 years. They have helped me a lot really to grow. I've learned a lot from them. And also, I hope I have been really supportive to some of them in their career progression. So, I mean, my best regards to the entire CIPS MENA, procurement supply chain professional, and looking forward to staying in touch.
Thank you very much, Wael, for being with us and sharing such useful tips. And of course, you are welcome. We are looking forward to seeing you back sometimes. We still remember you, and most of us are in touch with you through social media, and off and on we have phone calls also. So you are missed here, and you are valued, and you are always welcome. So what you have shared with us, which is bring value and support to the community. That's what we are saying through our efforts. we can help NGOs also leverage some of our experience and to help them. And it is, of course, the time to give back and to see young people prosper and like train them. You always said even if we grow up in our career and number of years experience we have, still it is good idea to have a mentor and a coach. And with pandemic, we are going back to basics. And procurement organizations have to be agile and lean, and we need to have strong supplier relationship management, good market intelligence. And it is an opportunity to elevate our profession now at this stage. And we want different type of skill sets, and we want pressure tested leaders who can shape the future of the organization by being more agile and more nimble. Once again, thank you very much for being with us. And I'm sure our audience would have gained quite a lot from this discussion and the tips which you gave us. Thank you very much, Wael.
Thank you, Lalit. It has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Audience, thank you for tuning in. And all these podcasts are available in CIPS MENA Facebook page and also on YouTube. And of course, we will be giving you the link in the show notes and on the LinkedIn post, which we'll be making for this particular podcast. Thank you very much for tuning in and supporting us.